Have you ever had an idea that was so clear it was like a 3D movie? Have you ever told a friend about the idea and they told you, wow, if you could only make that into a business, you would be rich? Sound familiar? Welcome to Knowledge to Currency. I'm your host, Senator Porter, with my co-host, Roosevelt Williams III, and we're here to help you take action. This is free information. We only ask one thing: build a strong foundation and mindset. We have insight to help you get started. Most of us just need a push.
Hey, it's Grant from Petco Park.
And this is Cheyenne, and we're shout out to YB and MP for partnering with us today for our theme game.
Have a good day.
Welcome, Knowledge to Currency. I'm your host, Senator Porter, and this is
Roosevelt Williams III.
And we have a special guest, a friend of mine, the Stir-Fried Master, A.
Yes.
Hey.
What's up, guys? What's going on?
Welcome to the show. We definitely appreciate you coming on this episode. It's somebody near and dear to my heart, so wanted to make sure she was here.
Yeah, we've been hearing so much about you. Let's hear about your entrepreneurial spirit and your journey. We see you turned up.
Man, my journey is, God, hopefully it could be a movie one day, but my journey is I grew up in Laos, and I moved here 2007 for college. And growing up, being Asian daughter, everything had to be perfect. My name is A. My dad's always like, you better get straight A's or get your ass beat, So I was always like naturally just good in school, not because I loved school, because I didn't want to get my ass beat, right? So like the motivation of, what or how I want to do things was like geared towards that, or like if I got good grades, I would be rewarded, type of thing. So that always stuck with me as a kid until adulthood. And I do appreciate that now for sure. Like there's action and consequence type of thing. But I'm a wild child. I'm a rebel for sure, and I'm not perfect or anything at all. But I have a couple friends, growing up, they're in arranged marriages, all that stuff, because my culture is very much like that. Yeah, it's very third world. You need a dowry. You need some money and 2 cows.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm worth more than 2 cows. Get me the fuck out of here. So yeah, I came to the U.S. for college, and basically I never left. I studied finance because my parents said I wanted to study journalism because, Family Guy, they have the Asian news reporter, and I thought it was really cool. And I was like, I want to, study English and journalism. My dad said, you can barely speak English, girl. You better study money so you know how to make money. So I did. I studied finance, basically did everything right. And I went to banking where I met Nikia. We worked our day job there.
Right.
Yeah. But that journey was from, I started from a teller, from a little teller part-time going to school. And I became like a bank manager. And then I went into investments. I don't want to say what company. Can we?
No, don't.
Yeah, I don't want to because.
Don't say it.
But I did all of that. I met Nikia, and we had like a cool working relationship. We were always like really chill, and I was always a chill person. I didn't really like. I mean, like listening to me now, I never really had that customer service voice,
Mm-hmm.
But there are things that I learned in banking that. Have taught me a lot, right? Like never say no. When you say no, always give people options, stuff like that. And just sharking it, I could sell anything. Like I could sell anything because...
The best part about it.
Yeah, because the motherfuckers taught me, like, you better.
Yeah, no, they don't play around with that.
Yeah, so they just, taught me how to finesse. And that was a really, like, good life lesson. So I feel like everything in my life I didn't regret, because sometimes I'm like, dang, why did I waste all my time doing all that bullshit when I could have? But then if I didn't, I would be naive and, and not be ready for the next step of my life. But yeah, fast forward, you know, like almost 10 years, right? And it's almost 10 years. I'm about to turn 30 and I'm like, fuck my life. Like, this is not, you know, I would wake up and I would snooze like 5 times and the snooze would be like, you're too cool for this shit, bitch. You know, that's a problem. You know, when you're like, you don't want to wake up because you feel you're too cool, you need to go back to bed.
Right.
Yeah, you're like, something is wrong here. So I'm like, so then I finally tell my parents, like, dude, something is up. Like, I am just not, I feel this itch. I don't know but I had no idea what I wanted to do. But I knew that I was good at hosting. I knew I was good at entertaining. And I knew I was good at cooking because when I turned 10, my dad's like, get in the kitchen and help your mom cook, you know? And that's what I love to do. And I love to eat, you know? So I always knew, like, how do I get all the things that I love and, you know, turn it into something that will make me money, right?
Right.
And so a lot of things happened before then because I was like, okay, how am I going to hustle all these, like, yuppies, right? All these young professionals that don't have time to cook, and then they're ordering meal preps and stuff. And I'm like, you know, I'm going to start slanging meal preps to my coworkers.
And she told me about this. And I was like, yeah, I'll buy food from you.
Yes.
You do it.
This corner business too. Yeah, he did. And I was doing that, and friends were buying, you know, mostly like friends and fam and all of that they were. And something happened at work, and I'm like, God, I have to quit. But it's always like that fear, right? Like, what if I got bills? I got this, I can't. But something significant happened to where there was a situation where I was treated unfairly at work. And I don't want to elaborate towards it, but I knew it was just flat out, you know, it was just so obvious, black and white. And I was like, okay, what the hell do I do about this? Like, do I stand up for myself or I become passive, you know, and just be a little, you know, a little bitch forever, basically.
You took a moment at crossroads to take a stand.
Yes, for sure. And I feel like I've been through those crossroads so many times when I was younger to where I'm like, I'll do better, or maybe the next quarter will be better, or maybe they'll treat me better later when I deserve it, you know? And it's like, when do you realize when you deserve something great, when do you really realize that? Like, you deserve it now because you're busting your ass, you're putting your heart in your work, and, you know, I'm not a lazy person, and, you know, you start questioning that. So when that happened, I was like, oh man, I want to quit on the spot, you know, it would be so gangster, but I was like, no, because I'm still, you know, kid of my parents. But I called them that night and I was like, hey, look, I'm not asking for your permission, I'm just letting you know I'm gonna quit my job first thing in the morning, right? And then I told my dad the situation. My dad was like, why did you quit then? Why were you such a punk? And I said, I don't know, because I wanted your approval. Like, you know, and I'll still have that. I'll always, you know, as an Asian woman, it's always, that approval is still lingering and will whisper in your ear forever, no matter how hard you try to dim it. And I feel like I've freed myself from that for the most part. But it's 90%, you know, that 10%, I still care, you know, and I feel like I always will.
Tell the story how you quit, though. It's so gangster.
Oh, yes. So then I go into the office early and I type my resignation letter, right? And it says, I quit effective immediately. Sign. Boom. And I fold it and I put it under my keyboard, okay? And I come in and my coworker comes out and I'm like, I'm about to quit this bitch, like, right now. And my coworker's like, please, like, help me. I don't know how to do anything, which, you know, it pertains to your value, right? Like, you do so much. Like, I was running that office, and they're like, dude, if you go, like, we will die. And I'm like, I want you to die. Right? That's the whole purpose. Right. You know? But, of course, I'm still soft, you know? I'm a jelly bean, you know? Like, hard on the outside, soft on the inside. And I ended up staying until 5 p.m. And that is a story I'm not proud of, because it is nothing gangster about that. But I do have a soft heart, so I was like, fine, I'll help. I did everything. And then when my boss, like, he was avoiding me that day because he knew that meeting was, like, so bad. He was just avoiding me, didn't make eye contact. I said, sir, I got something to say. So I go in the office and I was like, hey, you know what we talked about yesterday didn't sit right with me and I don't feel comfortable working here anymore. So I quit effective immediately. You want to read the letter? And then I, like, pass him the letter, and then he opens the letter and he reads it and he's like, I quit. And he looks at me, he's like, oh, shucks.
Corny.
You imagine how I felt when he said that? I was like, oh, get me out of here. And then he's like, oh, okay, yeah, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna go back to your old job? You wanna, and I'm like, all I know is I don't wanna be here no more. Like, don't worry about me, honey.
Right.
And he's like, okay, you can get your stuff and leave. I said, my stuff has been in the car since lunchtime, bro. Bye.
Right.
So then that feeling was one of the best feelings, I would say. Like, that fear was there, but that the liberation was there, that freedom was there, but the what the fuck am I gonna do was there as well, right? And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, like I was already selling these little meal preps and stuff. I'm like, I'm just gonna go 1,000%, like start going in, like how am I gonna do marketing and I am a big social media person. I was always into social media is what I'm trying to say. But I was like, how do I like excel and put my business in social media to where it can be like its own running word of mouth, like where are the cool spots, what's the good stuff. Yeah, advertising. And I didn't want to pay for ads, and I didn't want, because it's not the same when you pay for an ad for food, right? They don't taste your food. It doesn't matter, right? So I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I started, and this is free game right here, okay, for you guys listening to this podcast. I just started doing like giveaways, and I would do giveaways, and I would say, hey, giveaways, you 5 winners, 10 winners, but all this food I'm making for free, mind you, because it's a giveaway. But I would look, and I would look at who was coming in, and at first I would be picky about it, and I would be different demographics, right? Like Filipino dude here, Mexican girl here, black guy here, And I would give them 5 meals each to go to, their communities and be like, yo, this shit slaps, And that was my marketing, was giving out free food and gaining the respect from the flavors, not like paying $20 for a Facebook ad and not getting my right, target market. So I started doing that, and that's when I started getting a following. And that's how Stir Fry Master really took off. And this was like during pandemic too. So in the first couple months, because pandemic started March, right? I quit in January of 2020. Right. So, offices, they were ordering like Monday through Friday, 5 meals, 5 meals a week, put it in the office fridge, all that. But when the pandemic hit, I was like, okay, if they're not being in the office, how can I market it to where, families can eat my stuff? And I'm just like, hey, are you tired of cooking food and making bread every day because you're so goddamn bored in the house? Like, I got you. So I like twisted it that way to where I would get families to order from me like almost nightly. So it's just finding ways, and like I said, thinking outside the box, and that's experience from my day job, experience from sales, all of that helped me create this little baby of mine, because I don't want no kids. That's my story.
And you're not a chef. You learned how to cook from your family, right?
I learned how to cook from a family, but I didn't call myself a chef until Gordon Ramsay called me a chef. So
there you go.
The moment when he called me a chef, I changed my bio and everything. He said Chef A. I said, what you say?
Let's talk about how that happened. How'd you end up on Next Level Chef?
How did I end up on Next Level Chef? So many things happened. I mean, I was, I was taking care of this business, right? This little baby of mine, growing it. And I was on social media a lot. So not only that I cook food, but obviously we're talking here, I'm, pretty much some type of personality. I don't know what it is, but I'm just very vibrant with my words and very, what do they call it?
Theatrical.
Theatrical, yes. I'm just a lot, yeah. I'm just a lot. So then I started going on, and then I was always anti-TikTok. I was like, I'm on TikTok live right now. I was always like anti-TikTok. I was like, nah, I don't want to, but I would do these rants on my IG stories, and they're like, dude, just post it on your TikTok. And I created a TikTok, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, dance moves, like, I don't know how to do that, but I would just start doing rants, and I was like, what is my target market? And I just started talking about, like, childhood and immigrant content, like, your parents, like little story times, little stuff like that. And those kind of took off because I'm a pretty good storyteller, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not talented in many areas, but I can tell a good story. So people would just listen to my stories, and I would just cook, and I started gaining a following on TikTok. because I was myself. And that's like the best way to grow on TikTok is if you're yourself. Like there's no trending, like people say trending sounds this time, put that time. But no, like if people really get to know who you are as a person, no matter where it is, right? It could be in this room, it could be, online, on anywhere. You'll gain that following. So I started gaining a following on TikTok and I was cooking. So people were following me and I guess this flyer came out for like Next Level Chef. It's a brand new show, Gordon Ramsay show. And my followers were like sending it to me like, hey, you should apply. Yeah, you should be on this. And at first I looked at it and I said, I don't know. But then a couple people would send it. And then I like went on to apply. And there were like 500 questions. I said, hell no, I'm not doing this. But I'm like, you know what? And then one day I was just sitting down and I said, and a couple of the contestants said the same thing. They were like, dude, the form was way too long. But I just started answering, like 20, 30 questions a day, and I'm like, if it's done, I'll submit it. If it doesn't work, whatever. It's not meant to be. Anyways, I did that and ended up a week later, I finished the application. I posted for it and, I got through the auditioning process and blah, blah, here we are. But the crazy thing is I had told the casting director this story and he's like, dude, that is fate because usually, online thingies, they would refresh out. Like, how come yours didn't refresh out, Mm-hmm. I said, I don't know. Maybe I got shitty Wi-Fi. I don't know. Maybe it's a blessing, I don't know why. But, what happened. And yeah, I got in. There were like 50,000 applicants and I made the top 15.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an authentic, you know what I mean? I like how you express yourself and, and that energy. I see that you put those flavors and that style and that pizzazz in your, in your food as you cook,
Yes.
So I'm already, it sounds tantalizing just coming out your mouth. I'm ready to take see what you got.
Tantalizing.
Oh, yeah,
food
yeah.
is good, for real.
Is that right?
Yeah, you got to try it.
Okay.
Everyone should try it. Order it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
How could we, follow you? How could we, learn more about you? How could we get some of your meal preps?
So my site is almost finalized. I've been taking all orders through Instagram, and still do. It's crazy.
Wow.
But my Instagram is Stir Fry Master. Exactly how it's spelled. There's no cool. Yeah, Stir Fry Master.
The only one and only. The
one and only. Yes.
Yeah.
And my personal is Abebe on IG and on TikTok.
Yeah. Actually, for the listeners, tell them your real name.
Oh.
If you could pronounce it, I'd give you $100.
My real name, people from Laos and Thailand, usually like Southeast Asia, but mostly Laos and Thailand, we have very long names. So my name is Ponpimon Southamabong. That's first and last name, but
No joke.
But we all have nicknames, so yeah. That's why my name is A and my sister's name is B.
But I like A. A is
Yeah.
fire.
A's cool, huh?
A is fire. I like that.
Exactly.
So, that's very unique. You have a very unique spirit, and I can already see that's why the like that talent search. It wasn't hard to identify natural talent.
For sure.
What have you learned in your entrepreneur journey so far that you can share? Because I like how you said I'm gonna give you some free game. Do you have any more
Nuggets.
Yeah, nuggets, trinkets that you can share with us?
Yeah, I would just say, when people evaluate the unknown, right? Like, oh, I'm scared of the unknown. I don't know what's there. I don't want to jump. It's probably dark in there. But you haven't jumped it. You don't even know what is there. And the unknown it goes both ways. It could be something super scary, and it could be something super amazing and beautiful, but you don't know until you do that. So if you keep questioning yourself every day, you won't know, and it's like the cliche, like don't live in regret, but like I just switched my energy because I used to look at risk as a totally different thing, right? Like minimal risk at all times. And now I'm just like, fuck it, let's go. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, if I die, at least I tried. Okay, what is that? What did 50 Cent say that?
Get rich at that trying.
Yeah, but I think it's just like the fearless way of living is just the best way to be, because when you do that and when you try to align your life where and how you want it to, like the universe will respond and align with you. And when the universe aligns with you, your wavelengths will go the same way. You'll meet people that are, going the same speed as you, because friends are important too. And for friends, I feel like we have to know when to let go of friends and when to make friends as well. Like, I don't trust a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of friends, but there are friends that like the same wavelength thing, right? Like, if you're going a certain way and you're back there and I want to wait for you, like, hey, bro, like, I'm waiting for you, you know, but sometimes it's just too far. And it could be vice versa. Some people can go past you and then you're too far. But then you have to meet people that are on your same wavelength and you can go together and then keep that energy. That's why whatever I want, I tell people with good energy what I want so they can help me manifest it in their soul, you know?
That's great. Is it also like an accountability partner?
Accountability as well. Yeah, exactly. Because, I have a friend or two that, you know, when I start to bum it, when I start to get comfortable, like, hey, get up. What are you doing? What are you doing? You know, always. But I love that too. But I was experiencing earlier before we were recording, like, man, I'm tired. Like, you know, the burnout is real too. So, and we older now, you know, we're not like, like, I'm in my 30s and I'm like, dang, I need a rest. Like, I need to rest. I need to, you know, book a facial, book a massage, like, have that time for yourself. And you have to balance it out. Because when you're always on the go, like, you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, you definitely got to decompress. You know, I'm a little fatigued myself, you know, so I can relate to that. But you got to keep going, you know, no rest for the weary.
Yes, Rizzo, you have to go get a Thai massage.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah, up there.
Yeah, I went to one in Linda Vista. You got some recommendations?
Yes, the one in Linda Vista.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the Thai ladies will like step on your back, like do backflips on your back. Like,
I've never done this.
It's crazy, but it's
painful
so
while
relaxing.
they doing it, but when you leave there, you're like, oh, that was the best one ever.
Jumping on my back.
Pain is good.
Yeah. If I name drop, they'll look out for me. If I go in there and say, hey, I know A and I know B too, they're gonna say, we're gonna look out for you.
They be
RW3.
like, yeah, you still pay full price. Matter of fact, you pay double now.
I still pay full price. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, you know, a name drop. You know, you never know. I want to hear more about your experience being in the kitchen with a master chef. You know, and with other peers. You know, what type of tips and did you pick up on?
Man, I learned so much. I think we all learned a lot from each other for sure.
That's right.
Because for me, you know, my parents taught me how to cook, right? So I don't know how to measure da-da-da. I'll see people like try to memorize recipes and I'm there just playing Uno. And they're like, you're not like prepping. Like, prepping for what? I don't know what's going on. And whenever I season, like, you know, like they say, season until your ancestors tell you to stop, you know? It's like, you gotta feel it, right? But, there were fine dining chefs there. There were home cooks there, you know, and I'm a social media chef. So it's all different. And then we just all learn from each other. And just being cooking right next to Gordon Ramsay was, God, it was crazy. Like, it was crazy. It was surreal. Like, because I would just stand there and I'm like, what the hell? Like, a year and a half ago, I'm sitting in my cubicle saying, fuck my life, you know? And I'm like, wow, I really went for it. And it's like this moment of gratitude, but, you know, he'll yell at you. He's like, what the hell are you doing? You know how his persona is. But for me, you know, I grew up in a loud house. So if they don't yell at you, they don't love you. So I'm like, oh, he loves me. Where like the other contestants are like crying, like, oh my God, he's so mean. You know, I'm like, give me more. Like, right. This violence is, right? So that's another episode about childhood trauma. But it was great. It was beautiful. And just meeting like-minded people, somebody to geek out with, pots and pans with, was the greatest thing. And they're my friends to this day. We talk every day. We have a group chat. Right. Like, respect each other. Like, it's really, you know, we came through adversity together. Like, if you watch the show, you don't watch it, you will feel my pain.
I've seen a couple snippets of it.
I was going to say some of the key jewels that she dropped. Number one, she went for going for an entrepreneurial opportunity. If it didn't work out, she could always go back and work at a bank. Hope that doesn't happen, but she could do that because she had the skills. We can't take those skills away. So let's say if she didn't take the right path, and try to go for her dream, she'd probably still be working at that same job now. Maybe even got laid off when pandemic happened, who knows? Yeah, that's true. So it's good that she did it, and then the universe kind of worked itself out. The pandemic happened. What she actually got into was something that was a necessity, a need. People need food. That's something that's not going to ever go away. And she didn't have all the credentials that everybody would say, like going to culinary college or whatever, but it didn't matter. I didn't have any of that. And I think that the way that I live my life now is really like, it's not like I don't care, but I'm just very at peace with my journey, you know? So
And I heard this a couple months ago, but they say it's not rejection, it's redirection. Mm-hmm. So if things don't go your way, it's supposed to go another way, not because something's wrong with you or you're not good enough. It's not even that. You're way more than enough.
Absolutely.
Especially like for yourself. And really, you just need the validation from yourself. Yep. And that's how I feel. Like, going on was a great experience. My girl won, I didn't, and I was so at peace with it. Sure. Why? Because I introduced Lao food
to the world. And that was my mission, and I'm like, who the hell am I to go and when they show exactly. Country. But for me, the moment that I felt gratitude when I was proud of myself, it wasn't cooking next to Ramsey. It wasn't, being there. It was when I had won an elimination challenge, and it was double elimination, and I made a Lao dish, and I was like, fuck it, so be it. If this is my last time I cook, I'm gonna make the best Lao dish that I can, and I did it, and and I got it, right? I passed that stage, and so many Lao people DM'd me, reached out to me, emailed me, and it's like, there's nothing like your people saying that they're proud of you. The representation is so important. I'm all about representation. Mm-hmm. And this journey, I just, realized what my purpose in life is. And it really is, through TikTok, through, IG, through cooking. And my passion is to share my Lao culture and food to the world. And however I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. In every way. There's so many ways to do it, and I feel like I'm in the path where I'm supposed to be, and I'm gonna cry a lot, and I'm gonna scream and yell, tears of joy a lot as well, but I'm on for the ride. What's some of the tools you recommend somebody use? So you said TikTok, Instagram, Facebook? Facebook
is good too. Hey, Facebook, they're pushing their reels out, so I've been reposting a lot of old TikToks, and they pay too. So all of them. I think all of them, just all the platforms, because you don't know. Everything is so different. TikTok crew is, a younger crew. And then Facebook, at first, I was like, dang, the Lao OGs, they hate me, because I'm so loud and flamboyant. But then, right after I got on the show, that clout just changed everything. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, all of a sudden I'm funny. I said it. It's so crazy how the OGs work too, because the OGs are more like that. Actually, the young ones, they like you for who you are. It's the OGs that you need clout for them to even look at your face.
What did your parents say when they saw you on TV?
They loved it. They cried. I just kept telling them, please just don't say I pray for you to win. Just don't say that. We came here to represent, and I'm like, I want to say I want to win, of course, but my goal is to represent. And they would just say, we're so proud of you. And my mom would say, when I was little, that I would tell her, and I don't even remember this. She was like, you always said that you wanted to be on TV and you wanted a talk show and you can bring people onto your show and tell people how to love each other. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. I was a sweetheart.
Little do they know.
Yeah, and she was like, you said you were going to do that, and you did. You united so many Lao people. Southeast Asians are proud of me. Mm-hmm. It's amazing, and I really just do it for my people, for real, because we're so underrepresented. Sure. In the U.S. in the world in general, right? Asian culture is so vast. There's so many different types of cultures within the Asian culture. It's just not just K-pop. It's not just
Chinese, Japanese.
Exactly.
There's everything.
There's a whole Southeast Asia that nobody really knows or cares about, but my mission is to make them care.
Sure.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Shout out, for the month of May, API month. Big love. Yeah. But my favorite animal is, is the Asian elephant. Too,
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we definitely in tune. So big ups. Big love.
That's cool, because Laos used to be called the land of a million elephants. Lansang.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Same team. Same team. That's right, yeah. And definitely got it going on. You definitely got to, check her out. Please give your handles one more time, please.
Yes, my personal handle is A-Baby.
A-Baby.
Yes, and my business handle is Stir Fry Master.
Stir Fry Master,
okay. Is there anything coming up that we should know about that you want to promote?
Oh man!
Or is it all secret?
No, it's all kind of secret right now.
That's how you roll.
Yeah, everything's in the works right now, and When it pops out, I just want to be surprise.
That's right. Yeah, that's the best type of prize, is a surprise. You know what I mean? So, we proud of you. But please, you keeping this under wraps. We definitely gonna be in touch. And give us one more gem that you learned with your, your spirit. Please, just share with us. Drop a jewel. Our last
one. If you never ask, the answer is always no.
Facts. Man, that's in a fortune cookie or something. I bet you that's how she got that.
That was powerful. That's powerful. That's powerful. If you never ask, the answer is always no.
Yep.
Get your questions ready.
And are you mentoring anybody?
I mean, there's a couple people that connect with me online, and I try, but shit, I'm so busy, I can barely help myself. I'm trying though. I don't feel I'm in the position to be a mentor yet, but there are a lot of youngins that do look up to me, and I'm very grateful for that. So I just give them little gems here and there.
That's good.
But I just want to teach, like young Asian girls to be fearless, and I think that's what's holding us back right now is that fear. So
well, I definitely appreciate you being on the show. Big deal for me. I'm happy to see you just rise like a phoenix and blow up. So it's like seeing my little sister just blow up. So
I know, he had been in from the beginning. Like he saw my evolution.
Right.
It's been like 5 years?
Yeah. Like when she said, I was like, do it. You can always go back to the bank if you.
Hell, I don't want to go back.
And she's like, "No, I don't want to go back." So thank you so much. I'm glad we got to do this episode and hope to have you on again.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And it's a wrap. Thanks again for tuning in to Knowledge is Currency, and look forward to the next episode.
Peace.